Guys, let's have a talk. We have a huge problem. Look at the graph. Less than 5% of you are subscribed to my channel. It doesn't take much to make me happy. How about 1 in 5 of you subscribe right now?
Nice validation. My divorce was final on July 5th. I contacted an attorney as soon as I got confirmation of the affair and filed ASAP. As the primary wage earner throughout our marriage, my retirement was very financially vulnerable in a divorce. Luckily, it worked out well for me. My divorce attorney suggested that we offer my cheating ex-husband some rental property we had in exchange for hands off our residence and my retirement accounts, pension, and other investments. My ex will also have to pay substantial capital gains, commissions, and income taxes on this rental property due to the way the property division was written. I ended up with 2/3 of the assets, my ex-husband with 1/3. He stipulated it and we were divorced without even having to go to court. Yesterday I went to another attorney to have my will revised. She gave great validation to what I had done. She said that she has never seen drawing out divorce proceedings go well for the higher wage earning spouse. As time goes by, the cheating spouse gets more and more greedy and feels entitled to a greater share of the marital assets. She said it was much better to file early while the cheating spouse is still emotionally involved with the AP and is living in a fantasy land where they will be together and they can just live on love. Once the love is gone and it is clear the marriage is over, it all comes down to just a division of property anyway. So strike early and strike fast. Update 2 years post D-Day encouragement for the lost and hurting. My D-Day was the Sunday after Mother's Day in 2019. I had been faithfully married to my husband for 42 years. I went straight from my family to a college dorm to marriage and had never lived alone. I had retired the year before, and we had moved to a little hobby farm in the country to retire. Our farm had an outbuilding, where my husband kept his music room. I was 63 years old when I overheard him talking on the phone to a woman late into the night. I eavesdropped for a week. He always talked to the same woman conveniently on speaker. I always ran back to the house when the conversation appeared to be winding down, as I did not want to be caught. I suspected an affair and ordered a voice-activated recorder off the internet. I confided to a girlfriend who could not believe that my 67-year-old husband would be having an affair. She convinced me to talk to him. Bad idea. To confront before you have full information BTW. So 2 years ago, I sat in the dark as the conversation ended. That is when the I love you S and the S time talk started. She could hardly wait to see him again. He wanted to be in bed with her, and he really, really loved her. The conversation ended and I let him find me sitting on the stairs. I said, "So you really, really love her?" He became enraged, got 2 chests from my face, and screamed, "Yes, I love her and I don't love you." No place to go from there, but to divvy up the assets and divorce. I went a little crazy that night, and ex wisely chose to sleep in his music room. I called, texted and emailed everyone we knew and told them that my husband was having an affair and we were getting a divorce. One friend talked to me for hours until I calmed down. Within 24 hours, 3 friends had recommended the same attorney. I had an appointment with her 2 days later. I did not sleep for months. My heart would pound, I could not eat, and I lost weight. I had to be medicated for the near constant panic I felt. I did not want the stress of moving again and losing my house and farm on top of everything else, but I did not know if I could manage it by myself. I did not know if I could afford it. I was terrified. My pit bull attorney had me make a generous financial offer to my ex. Because we had married young and broke, everything was community property. I gave him some rental property in exchange for my getting the house and keeping my retirement accounts. My ex did not contest he was deeply in the affair fog and did not even hire his own attorney. We divorced quickly, no kids or debt, and I ended up with 2/3 of the marital assets. It has been 2 years now, and I cannot believe how happy I am. I am managing just fine. I bought a new zero-turn mower to manage my huge lawn and a Honda snowblower for the winter. I used some savings to have a sprinkler system installed. My girlfriends offered great support during the day, but I was lonely at night. I learned that, if I went to the gym in the evening and worked out really hard, I could then come home to a hot bath and sleep soundly. My ex moved away to be with his AP. I was no contact with him for more than a year. He texted me with a tax question. I gave a short, businesslike response. I had my gray hair dyed and updated my wardrobe. I am healthier and look better than I have in years. I joined Meetup and forced myself to go out solo. I started to like living alone. My social life flourished. 6 months after my divorce, I met a wonderful widower and found love at the age of 64. I cannot believe how happy I am and how well I am doing. I am much older than most of you on this sub. If I can divorce and find myself, love and happiness at my age, you can start over and build a new life too. Good riddance to cheaters and hugs to the hurting. Be brave and keep looking forward. The best is yet to come. Last update 2 years post-divorce and I am happy. In May of 2019, I discovered my husband of 42 years had been having a long-term out-of-town affair. He traveled to his hometown every 2 months supposedly to visit his older brother with cancer for a week at a time. It turns out he had reconnected with a high school girlfriend and had been living a double life with her. They were known as a couple among his old high school friends, while I stayed home to manage our farm and our business. He admitted that the affair had gone on for 1 year, but I have reasons to believe it was longer. I felt doubly betrayed as he claimed he was impotent after prostate surgery in 2009. I had remained faithful despite a dead bedroom and no physical affection for 10 years. My ex-husband had totally checked out while I continued to cook, clean, and run the business. I was devastated and furious. I had retired 1 year earlier and so had a very limited social circle. I felt too old and too ugly to be wanted by another man. I had not dated or even been with another man since the age of 19, and seriously doubted if I would ever be able to even take my clothes off in front of another man. I was overwhelmed and lost. I had to stay angry or I would spiral into a suicidal depression. My ex had no interest in trying to save the marriage. I filed for divorce, and since we had no debts and no minor children, I made my ex a generous financial settlement. He did not contest. He could not wait to get to his AP full-time. My religion forbids suicide, but I started going to the gym at night since that was when the loneliness was the worst and attempting suicide by Stairmaster. I would get my heart rate up to 180, way too high for my age, and Stairmaster as long as I could. I couldn't eat anyway. 2 years out, my life is much happier. I am dating a lovely widower that I met through a meetup group. I rarely think about my ex and have minimal contact with him, and only about our adult special needs son. I have friends and a full social life. I have enough money to support myself comfortably and do what I want. I'm happy living alone, although most nights I am with my boyfriend. Although it seems impossible when you are living through this acid, life does get better. Survive and one day the pain will be behind you and you will make a choice to be happy. Hugs to all the suffering ones out there.